mine first started, obviously, my massive breakdown where I came to this was my relationship breakup. So I had a 8-9 year relationship. I obviously didn't know how to deal with my emotions. Always got taught that, it's weak if you
just
cry.
Closer to your mouth.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's just cutting it out.
Yeah. So if it's, it's always weak if you cry and da-da-da-da-da. So which led me down to a path. I had a pretty bad breakup, got really bad depression and anxiety and real bad suicide. Had like 3 serious attempts, ended up in mental hospital for 2 months. I just didn't know how to deal with it. And at the time, all I knew was I just wanted to be out. And it came to a time where, I started lying to my own family. And then, one day I just decided to, I didn't know where I was driving, but I ended up down in Byron and, I ended up in the middle of the bush and, I hung myself and I jumped. Moments later, I woke up with a dog barking in my face and the police cut me down and found me. So that's why I take this so serious because, I tapped out. I didn't want to be here. But for some strange reason, I just remember vividly just going, God, if you're real, do something. And I thought I was dead, to be honest. And then ever since then, I spent 2 months obviously in mental hospital, wondering why am I still here, still trying to take my own life, because I had obviously another serious attempt before that. And I was just like, the first thing was, well, that didn't work. What else is there? And, I didn't know who to talk to. I could never talk to my family, they'll just tell me stop being stupid or something like that. I had no really close friends that I could just, vent to. And then which pretty much stumbled on across the bro who, seen me at the gym and, he asked me, how are you? After I got out of mental hospital, because I've always been heavily involved with gym and rugby and stuff like that. I seen him there and he's just like, oh, hey bro, how are you? And I just, obviously had my mask up and I was like, yeah, sweet bro. Went back to training 15 minutes later. He's like, hey bro, how are you really? And it wasn't until then, it just dropped and I just started crying in the middle of the gym floor. And I was like, bro, no good. I literally just got out of mental hospital, man. I don't know what to do. And then ever since then, he's given me the ways, taught me the ways, go to Sunrise and eating a lot cleaner, doing pretty much everything that we're doing with the Mend. And then, finding this group of guys that we just are so passionate, and hearing other stories and me sharing my story. I used to think that would have been weak, me sharing my story, but that's who I am and that's who that's what's made me. And I guess for me, my purpose is I need to share that. I need to help other people going through their stuff because I was the main one that never shared any thoughts, emotions or feelings with anyone. So that's why I love this work that I do. I love who I am today. I can actually look at myself and be like, you know what, bro, I love you. When that was the worst thing. If I was to say that, 3 years ago, I would have been, fuck, what a pussy.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so it's interesting, man. That's
just a little story.
Of course. I'm sure it's such a small element of the whole story as well. Yeah. But if you don't mind me asking, were you depressed? Yeah. Was this something that was brought on before or after your situation?
I guess at the time I was, unhappy with certain areas of my relationship that I didn't know how to deal with and I didn't know how to express because it was such a hard thing for me to do. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was just a punching bag in the relationship and I was just copying everything and I was just like, you know what? Every time I'd say something, someone would just be like, oh, it's all good. You shouldn't think about that or you shouldn't worry about that. So subconsciously, I didn't even know how I was feeling, but it was really eating away at me and I didn't know how to express that. And the more that built up with me, I guess it just exploded. So looking back at it now, I probably was depressed even before I even knew.